Good afternoon, Niner gang. How we feeling? Monday night football is just around the corner, and I want to talk about it with y'all. Let's get a little intro going, and let's get to the show. Good afternoon, Niner fans. We have a game tonight. It is Monday, and we have Monday night football ahead of us. Finally, it feels like it's been 17 months since the 49ers played football. The last time the 49ers played, they lost. And I don't know about you, but I need to get this damn nasty taste of the loss out of my mouth. I'm sure the players do too. If you saw earlier today, there were some updates. Christian McCaffrey is officially going to play today, according to Adam Schefter. We know he's dealing with a oblique tear, a small oblique tear, and a lot of people are worried about it. And Christian McCaffrey's a gamer, man, and he's tough. He's going to put himself out there. He told Kyle all week, "Don't take me out of the game plan." And you know what? Christian McCaffrey, he's built different, right? We talk about how he is this MVP candidate, and he wants to put the team on his back. The bad news is we found out earlier this week that Deebo Samuel has a hairline fracture in his shoulder, so he's going to miss this game. He's going to miss the next game, and we'll see how it goes after the bye week. So Christian McCaffrey is so important to this team now that Deebo Samuel is out, even more important than normally. We know how important Christian McCaffrey is in general, but now it's even bigger because, Deebo, he's so important with the pre-snap motion and getting things set, and you take that away, now you have to use Christian McCaffrey in motion and kind of get him to have plays set. And also those little short blitz beater passes. That's like that's what I like to call it. Deebo Samuel gets a little slant plays, little screen plays, things like that. And those are good against the blitz. And CMC does that too. But now you're going to utilize that more with CMC because the Vikings defensive line is aggressive. They're going to be bringing the blitz. And that brings me to my latest piece of news. I'm sure you guys heard about that today. Trent Williams has an ankle injury. He was listed as doubtful. We all know he was listed as doubtful. He's officially not going to be playing tonight, according to Matt Mayoko. Actually had this first, and then Adam Schefter said it on the Pat McAfee show this morning. So it's unfortunate. Trent Williams is out. I mean, I get it. It's smart. He's the veteran. You don't want to lose him for a long term. We've been talking about that. But Jalen Moore gets the start. I mean, we were kind of anticipating this over the last couple of days. Jalen Moore will not. Jalen Moore will start. Trent Williams will not be starting at left tackle. So that gives you Jalen Moore and Colton McKivitz playing tackles today. And I'm a little worried because Danielle Hunter, he is a monster. And this man is coming in with 8 sacks coming into this game tonight. I know the coaches have hyped up Jalen Moore, that he's progressed, right, into becoming a starting caliber offensive tackle. All that stuff. They're saying all the right things about Jalen Moore. But guess what? He's going up against the Pro Bowler, Danielle Hunter. And again, like I said, Danielle Hunter has 8 sacks, and he's a monster. So it's going to be a big start for Jalen Moore. His welcome to the starting gig, baby. So you know what? You got a lot to prove tonight, a big test. And this is going to be a showcase battle for him. If he really thinks he's a starter, if the coaches think he's a starter, what other way to prove it than against one of the better edge rushers in the league right now, Hunter. So yeah, Jalen Moore. I'm a little worried about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little worried about Jalen Moore going up against Danielle Hunter. So we'll see how it goes. Again, Niners. They've been hitting the injury bug as of late, which is unfortunate. You hate to see that. They've been pretty relatively healthy, but it is a long season. You're gonna have some injuries, and knock on wood that nothing becomes any more serious, right? Like Christian McCaffrey with the oblique tear. Hopefully it doesn't turn into something bigger. His injury is basically going to be a pain tolerance issue. Obviously, the oblique tear can turn into other things, but he takes care of his body very well, and I'm sure he wouldn't put himself in jeopardy. But you know what? If he's going to be needed, he's going to be needed. I do hope that the 49ers utilize Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell a little bit more. Give them some rest. Give Christian McCaffrey a few plays off. He's so good. Is when he starts to get going, like when Christian McCaffrey starts to get going, it's hard to kind of take him out. I feel like that's the vibe that Kyle gets. So what's up, everybody? How we doing? Let's take a look at the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat today. It is Monday Night Football. Deb Topio says, what's up? Hey, Rod. Christine says, let's go Niners. Terrence, what's up? What's up? What's up, Christine? C says, no Trent. Yeah, we talked this. This is going to be a tough battle for Jalen Moore. Chief Kamachi says, bang, bang, Nana gang, let's get this damn dub. Let's get this dub. The Niners need a win, especially after last night when the Eagles came to town, came to Philly and dominated the Dolphins. That was a dominating performance by the Eagles. That was their best win of the season. Dolphins, they have not beaten a winning team. All their, wins have come against losing teams with losing records. And you know what? The Eagles, they shut them down in the trenches. They won on defensive line, offensive line, and they stymied them. They had a few plays, but overall, that defense really limited the number one offense in the NFL, Miami Dolphins. And again, Dolphins haven't really beat a contending team, an elite team. And the Eagles, man, that was a huge win for them. The 49ers need to stay afloat, need to stay up with the Eagles at the 6-1 record mark. So this is a big game for the 49ers. I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to be an easy dub. Vikings going to cruise. We thought that or the Niners are going to cruise against the Vikings. We thought that last week against the Cleveland Browns, and that wasn't the case. The NFL is weird. Every week, you just never know what to expect, man. Ready, set, rush, says Roger to go. Appreciate your key. Says, let's go, let's go. Christine says Bosa's going to have himself a game. It's his birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Nick Bosa. Shout out to Nick Bosa. Did you guys, I'm sure the ladies love it. Kim Kardashian, she just launched her men's skim campaign, and Nick Bosa was one of the male models. I can't believe he wasn't a male model before. If he never played football, he probably would be a male model. Women are going crazy, gaga googling. And, I hope it's not the Kardashian curse for Nick Bosa. I hope this campaign doesn't make him not play great. Maybe that's why Nick Bosa has been a little, underperforming in games, because he's been shooting model pictures for Kim Kardashian. But hey, it is Nick Bosa's birthday. Skims or no skims, I think he's going to go crazy tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. I hope he gets like 3 sacks tonight. Chief says feed Kittle the ball more, even though we might need help with the O-line. With Trent out, it's tough, man. We want to see Kittle help out the O-line because you don't have Trent. You want to have faith in Jalen Moore. We want to feed Kittle. So it's going to be a tough one. How are they going to balance that out? I think Kittle will help out with the blocking, but they do have to utilize George Kittle a lot in this game, Chief. I agree. Key says, do I think we should be playing CMC today or giving him a lot of carries? Do you think we should split it with Mason? So, yeah, that's the big controversy today. Everybody wants Christian McCaffrey to sit. I think it's okay to play him, but they do have to split his carries. CMC is going to sit there and want to play. He's not going to tell you, don't put me in, don't let me play. Christian McCaffrey is going to want to play the game. He's tough. He's a hard-nosed player. He's gritty. I get it. At some point, if it's detrimental to him and if he really is at risk for making himself worse, you got to tell him no. But I think because of the injury, there has been other players that have played through this injury this year and in the past. Brock Purdy last year played through the oblique tear last year. So it is an injury that you could play through. It's not easy. It's going to be a pain tolerance thing. I know a lot of people are not happy about it because he's such a workhorse. And when Christian McCaffrey gets going, he gets going, and it's hard to stop him. But I do feel that it is important to win this game. And with no Debo, with no Trent Williams, there's a lot of strain on some of these other guys. I think CMC's a leader, and he wants to help, this team win. I think you could limit his carries and still win this game. But, it's definitely one of those tough decisions because you're like, man, I would love to have CMC rest. But I think if Debo was there, maybe it would make it a little easier. Debo's not there. No Trent Williams. 49ers are really going to have to lean on, like Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, like you guys mentioned, and CMC. And Brock Purdy's going to have a hell of a game. So it's a tough decision, but you got to win these games. Injuries happen throughout every team in the season. And it's just one of those things. Or how are you going to, manage it? How are you going to game plan? It's definitely something I hope Kyle has, prepared for. And I'm sure he has. He had an extra day to really figure out the game plan. And we'll see what happens tonight. All eyes on us, man. Monday Night Football. Everybody's going to be looking at the 49ers. again, especially after the weekend, we're the last team to play with the Vikings, and we get that spotlight. We really get to see what we're made of. If we have a big performance, everybody's going to say, "Oh, see, the Niners are the best. They're so good. Oh my God, they're great." Because that's the last thing people are going to remember of the week going into the new week. If the Niners dominate, recency bias, everybody's going to be like, "Oh, the Niners, the Niners, the Niners." If they have a stinky game, it's the other way around. People are going to see the Niners. Oh, they're not as good as we thought. Oh my God, the Niners, the Niners, and the Niners' schedule is getting a little tough coming up, right? They got the Bengals, they got the Jaguars. The Jaguars aren't a fluff team. They're a pretty good team right now. They got Buccaneers, although I think that could be a game where the Niners can pretty much, handle them. But Buccaneers you don't know what to expect. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they've just been inconsistent. After that, you got Seahawks, you got Philly, you got the Seahawks again. So it's going to be tough. The 49ers got to win these games. No guaranteed victories. We all thought we were going to, see the 49ers beat the Cleveland Browns last week, and they they definitely did it. So Browns defense they got clapped by the Minshew. That was a wild game, man. Refs kind of helped the Browns in that game too. Yeah, Ravens too. I think the 49ers played the Ravens on Christmas. The Ravens looked absolutely phenomenal yesterday against the Lions. Lamar Jackson after the game, they said, "Oh, how do you feel about this game? Scoring all those touchdowns." He goes, we could have done better. We didn't score on every drive." I was like, "Wow, this guy." And he also says regular season. Who doesn't matter? Talk to me in playoffs. Like Lamar knows he's been criticized his whole career because he hasn't been able to win playoff games. So he said what he said. It's a regular season game. At the end of the day, it's nice to win. It was a good victory, but we could be better. So mindset of the Ravens is on another level, and we got to play them in a couple weeks on Christmas. So that's gonna be a tough one. Niners got a tough schedule. They got to win these games. Like the Vikings should be a game that we can win, but again, the Vikings, if they win this game, they're back in the thick of things in their division. Their division's been kind of bottom feeders right now. But if you really think about it, if they get one win here, they could kind of scratch a little closer to Detroit, and they got some head-to-head matchups. So you never know, man. Any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, 49ers are not good. They shouldn't take this game easily. Kirk Cousins, we all know that he's not the big prime time quarterback. He's 1-10 in prime time, but I hope the real Kirk Cousins shows up. And it's a guy that Kyle Shanahan absolutely loves. Kyle Shanahan drafted this guy. This was his guy a couple of years ago. We all heard the story this week with Kyle Shanahan when the reporters asked him. They said, when you drafted Robert Griffin III, his dad was the coach, Mike Shanahan, back in those days, and he says, Robert Griffin III was the quarterback they went with. They had a plan to get two quarterbacks. He wanted, Kirk Cousins. His dad was looking to get Russell Wilson. They were going to get RG3 Russell Wilson. They didn't get Russell Wilson. He got drafted before they could take him. Dad comes up to Kyle, and Kyle says, and he asked Kyle, "You still want to get your guy, Kirk Cousins?" Because he's already drafted the quarterback. He goes, "Well, the plan was to get two." And he's like, "Oh," he's like probably hopping like a kid in a candy store that he got his guy. And we've always heard the stories. We've always known that Kirk and Kyle always kind of had this connection. A couple years back when the 49ers first hired Kyle Shanahan, he tried to get Kirk Cousins. There's always been rumors. So this is a game that 49ers, they finally got their guy. Kyle Shanahan finally found his new Kirk Cousins in Brock Purdy. And there was a report. I saw a little news story this morning. Of course, this thing comes out today. It's the Vikings were looking to get Brock Purdy when they were doing the draft last year. Like they had scouts looking at Brock Purdy. They wanted him. They were going to take him in the draft, to be a backup and maybe future quarterback. And of course, the 49ers, as we know, as the story goes, they drafted Brock Purdy with the last pick in the NFL draft last year. And in the article, Brock was saying that he considered the 49ers and the Vikings. There was another team, I can't remember the third team, but it was 49ers and Vikings were the two teams that he was among the teams that he was considering if he didn't get drafted, because obviously when you're undrafted, teams are going to offer you, and you look at, the situation, you can kind of go wherever you want once you're an undrafted player. So he was looking at the Vikings. He was looking for the 49ers. So there's a little story to it. Of course that comes out on game day. It just magically has to come out on game day. But yeah, I thought that was a cool story that the Vikings wanted Brock Purdy, Kyle wanted Kirk Cousins all these years, and now here we are. 49ers have Brock Purdy. That's their franchise and all that good stuff. So hit that like button. That's right. Let's see how we feeling today. Monday Night Football. We guys still feeling confident, even though we got some injuries with the 49ers. Again, Trent Williams is out. Christian McCaffrey's in. And Deebo Samuel is out. We still haven't got a word on Dre Greenlaw. I was looking around for updates. I think Matt Maiocco said he doesn't have an official word. So we'll see. Any other questions, comments? What do you guys think? You think the 49ers are still going to dominate this game? I still think they're still one of the top teams. I still think they're the top team in the NFL, obviously. I mean, the Eagles look good. Ravens look great. Chiefs look good. You know, they're the Chiefs. But 49ers had one loss, and it took everything to go wrong for them to lose that game. So Christine says we need Greenlaw. I hope he plays tonight. We definitely need Greenlaw. He was a huge miss last week in Cleveland game. Oh, we got some breaking news right now. The Eagles are trading for Kevin Byard. Wow. We got some trade moves going on. Ian Rappaport just announced that the Eagles are trading. Let's see the details here. Let's take a look. Man, telling you, there's going to be some trades coming up. 49ers might be getting some moves at some point. So the Eagles are trading for safety Kevin Byard. Still looking for the actual details, but it does look like the Eagles are getting a safety. They needed safety help. Hopefully the 49ers can get some much needed help in the trade deadline in a couple of weeks. I think that the 49ers could use some cornerback depth. I've heard a lot of rumors. Yesterday, Jay Glazer was saying that the 49ers are in the trade market. They're one of the teams that are looking to bolster their roster. The Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the 49ers, they're all looking for that move to kind of get them over the hump. So we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of rumors. Jalen Johnson. There's been some edge rushers named out there. Montez Sweat, Chase Young. Who knows? Who knows what the 49ers are going to do? But, we'll see what happens. The Eagles definitely just bolstered their roster right there, trading for safety Kevin Byard. I mean, that's big right there. The Eagles, they just won last night. They went and improved to 6-1, and they just went out and they got another good player for their roster, good depth. Kevin Byard right there. They had some issues with the injuries yesterday, and boom, right there. They bolstered their roster. That's what the 49ers need to do, Got a great team, but I feel like they still can add some depth at cornerback, and because they got to be able to compete with the Eagles come playoffs. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. You never know who's going to be healthy. You need to make sure you have depth to compete for those late season games, So want to make sure you have the best depth that you can get all season long, and I hope the 49ers make a move come trade deadline. It's getting close. It's getting nitty-gritty, but the 49ers definitely have to focus up and buckle that chin strap tonight and take care of the Vikings. I think they will. I think they can. I think they're going to dominate the Vikings. Again, I think it's going to be one of those games where the 49ers are coming out. I think they're going to come out a little angry, I think the 49ers are going to be a little upset that they lost last week, and the media's kind of turned on them. The media doesn't think that they're the big bad, number one team. Not everybody, but there's a lot of teams that are probably going to be projected above the 49ers after this weekend. You forget about them. You lost to Cleveland, and I think there's a lot of people in the media right now that are hoping for the 49ers downfall. They always do. They always pray for the downfall. But I think the 49ers are going to be locked and focused and ready to take a big-time win, a bounce-back win. I think they're going to come with it, and they're going to beat the Vikings. So, Christine says, I see John doing a last-minute trade. I think so, too. I really feel something's coming up because they've been hinting towards it. It's going to be interesting. So the trade deadline is next week on Halloween, 4 p.m. Eastern, so it's 1 p.m. Pacific. The NFL trade deadline is next week, October 31st. Halloween. I can't wait. Christine says, when the media is against the 49ers, they do better. That's a true statement. When the 49ers are the underdogs, it seems like we do better. So I love the energy when the 49ers are, the worst team, when people start discounting us and they start thinking we're the pretenders. I think it's great. I agree with you, but it gets a little annoying after a while when the 49ers are best team in the NFL, dominating, and they still, and then everybody starts to switch because it's just this weird switch because all the time they dog the Niners, they dog them, and all of a sudden, oh, the Niners are great, we got to root for them. And then the moment they have a loss, it's like, oh, okay, we can't support them. So it's just weird because they flip flop on the Niners so much. So wow, All Pro safety, unbelievable. Kevin Byard, he was an All Pro. Okay, so this is the official. Let's see the official terms of the trade. The Eagles traded a 2024 fifth and sixth rounder and safety Terrell Edmunds to the Titans for All-Pro safety Kevin Byard. Wow, that's crazy. They got a steal right there. That's a steal for them. Great player. Eagles, man, they're not playing games this season. The 49ers have to stay up. They got to win this game. They can't let the Eagles get in their mind. They can't let the Eagles get in their head. Distraction. 49ers got a big game against them in a couple of weeks. But at the same time, they can't focus on that. Got to focus at the task at hand. Minnesota Vikings. Let's go, baby. I can't wait for this game. On Monday Night Football, you love it. I love Monday Night Football. This is prime time action. How do I feel about going into this game? That's a good question, Christine. How do I feel? I feel like the 49ers are in a good spot. Again, I know they lost last week, and a lot of people are down. But, again, it was one of those games where the 49ers still had a chance to win. We talked about it all week. They pretty much Murphy's Law went, and they still almost won that game, right? Everything that could have went wrong. I think this week they're going to bounce back, and I feel confident. It is tough to see some injured players on this team, but you know what? This team has been through a lot worse. You got to remember, they have been through so much adversity, and I don't think that what they're going through right now is even that bad of a situation. They've had massive injuries. They've been 2-4, 3-5. Record like that. Like they're 5-1. They look good. They still got great talent on both sides of the ball. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Hargrave. This offense is still really good. That defense is coming into its own. And, they still got some great players on offense. It is going to be a little bit more challenging without Trent Williams, but I feel confident. I feel like the 49ers are going to take this game, and they're going to win this game. I don't see it as a loss this week. So we got this game. Absolutely. Let's take two more questions, and then we'll call it a day for now. Just wanted to hop on pregame with y'all, get your thoughts on Monday Night Football, man. I'm excited. Forktail says the Vikings are not built to beat us. Absolutely. I don't think the Vikings are a team that can go stride for stride with the 49ers. They're not physical enough, especially without Justin Jefferson. They don't have that deep threat to, really worry the 49ers on offense, I'm not too worried about them. For fact's sake, says Jalen. Let's see what he's made of for an entire game. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Jalen Moore is going to bring to the table. I'm not, like I said, that is the one thing of this game that kind of worries me is Jalen Moore and how he will be able to stack up. It's his first start of the season. I know he started games for the 49ers before. He's been on this team. He's been a backup for several years. They've had great, player in Trent Williams there. So it's not like Jalen Moore was ever going to take that role. But he's learned behind him. He's practiced with this team. He takes a lot of first-team reps with the team when Trent Williams is not practicing and he gets those vet days. We'll see, man. This is a big test for Jalen Moore. If he really wants to prove that he's worth playing in the NFL, this is it, man. The Vikings got a good pass rush, so this is a massive test for Jalen Moore. How's it going, 49ers throwback? I'm doing well. I hope you are. Damien says bounce back week. Again, I think it is. Debtopia says, any worries about Moody, Jake Moody? Another guy that just needs to get his head straight. He had a big, fat loss last week mentally, and I think that this is a game that he can really rebound from and get his mind right. It's a mental grind, the NFL and sports in general, and last week was not good for his mentals. But, if he gets into the opportunity where he has to make a clutch kick, this is what we're going to see where he's made out of. So, every opportunity moving forward is an opportunity for him to prove himself. So, again, we talked about it before. He has a lot of pressure on him, but I think Jake Moody has everything to gain right now. He has a lot to lose, obviously, but he has everything to gain moving forward. A lot of people are doubting him. If he goes out there and he has to hit a game-winning field goal and he nails it, everybody's going to be praising him. They're going to be hyped up. Jake Moody appreciation posts are going to be flowing. There's going to be, oh, y'all owe this man some apologies, some flowers. I already know the posts that are coming up. It's going to be great. But if he misses and he's in a game-winning situation, the timeline's going to be a little dark. So let's hope for his sake he makes his field goals, especially if it's a clutch situation. But he does have to step up. Everybody has to step up. Brandon Ayuk has to step up. Jalen Moore has to step up. Colton Malkovich has to step up. These players need to step up. But it is what it is. Nick Bosa got to step up. It's his birthday, though. I think Nick Bosa has a great game today. Christine says, he better kick that damn ball. He has one job. Kick that damn ball. It's a tough job, man. I don't know. It is a tough job. I would never want to be. I'll take that back. I wouldn't mind being an NFL kicker. They get paid a lot of money. Should be a good one, says VZ. Absolutely, this should be a good game. I think the Niners are going to come out and win this game, though. Monday Night Football, you can't get better than that, though. Gotta love it. Let's see. Let's take one more question here. We'll call it a day. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, all that good stuff. Bosa is going to have a field day, says Christine. I think he is. Birthday. I think he's going to be, flowing with just a lot of adrenaline today. He got the Kim Kardashian, Skims advertisement out there. People are hyped on Nick Bosa today. I think he's finally coming into his own, too, without, all jokes aside. I really think that Nick Bosa is starting to play better these last couple of games. He had a sack last week. It was a big-time one, too. It was kind of a big situation. I think he's finally rounding into form. So I think he'll get a birthday sack. Love it. I love Nick Bosa. I think he's going to take care of business. And, here we go, baby. Monica says Bosa looks damn good in Skims. I mean, his target audience, I'm sure, is very happy. I saw a lot of people this morning. They're like, hey, I'm not complaining. Hey, females are loving Nick Bosa in his Skims. I'm sure they are. So Kim Kardashian was smart for that one. She knows what she's doing. Bosa, Gregory, Hargrave, Warner, Greenlaw. Yep. This is a dangerous defense, but they have to produce. They've been getting a lot of pressures. They got to finish the job. But Randy Gregory last week was a huge force, and I think he'll definitely do more with more, snaps, obviously. Just makes sense. But I think that this is the team that will show up and show the Vikings that they're a Super Bowl contender, and we'll see tonight what they're made of. So you guys have a good rest of your day. I love you. We'll see you tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. 49ers, Vikings, Monday Night Football. I can't wait. Bang, bang. Not a gang.